The world is getting stranger by the day. Cameras everywhere are capturing unexplainable events, eerie phenomena, and unnatural sightings that defy all logic. Mysterious things are happening right now, and people believe it's only the beginning of something far worse. On May 30th, 2025, in British Columbia, a climber captured something absolutely unbelievable. Like, really? You won't believe this. Rising from behind the mountain was a massive pillar of glowing lights stretching high into the night sky. At its peak, the lights curved into a giant ring, almost like a portal opening above the earth. What makes this even stranger is that it wasn't his first encounter. He claims he's seen this before, and each time, the phenomenon seemed to appear closer than the last. He admits he can't say if it's a rare natural event or a genuine portal. With unusual sky phenomena being reported worldwide, this sighting has definitely raised a few suspicious eyebrows. So, what do you think?
What was there?
Peculiar sighting. A man relaxing on the beach spotted something unusual streaking across the sky. It wasn't the quick flash of a meteor, but a slow, fiery trail cutting downward toward the ocean. The movement looked too deliberate, almost controlled, unlike any fireball he'd seen before. For a moment, it resembled a rocket launch, but the angle and speed didn't match. As the burning streak disappeared beneath the waves, he was left stunned, wondering what exactly had just fallen from the sky. Strange ball lightning.
What is that?
What is that?
That's UFO.
During a family get-together in Arizona, something unusual lit up the sky, and the moment was caught on TikTok on May 4th, 2025. At first, it looked like ball lightning, a rare natural phenomenon, but this one wasn't behaving the way science usually describes. Instead of a single glowing sphere, it shifted through multiple colors and glided back and forth over the park. The family's voices in the clips say it all. They couldn't believe what they were watching. The glowing shape was there, but its movement and colors made it harder to explain. Traditional ball lightning usually appears as a bright orb before fading. Not this, though. It is possible this wasn't an actual event, but rather inspired by one. Do you agree?
What is that? What is that?
Unknown sky phenomenon. From a hillside of an unknown location, a clip surfaced showing a strange light unlike anything familiar. A streak of bright blue shot upward into the sky before blooming into a glowing orange ring that hovered above the clouds. The exact time and location remain unclear, but the sight was captivating. Some believe it was just an atmospheric effect, while others point to something more unexplained. Either way, the strange glow left many wondering what kind of phenomena are unfolding right above our heads. Darkening Texas skies. In this scene, described as apocalyptic by stunned drivers, thousands of birds swoop over a Texas motorway. These birds suddenly flooded the sky above a busy highway in Mesquite, just outside Dallas. The road looks like any other until the sky begins to darken. Drivers quickly realize it isn't a storm. It's a massive flock of birds circling and swooping in every direction. One driver rolls down their window, and you can hear the loud squawking echoing through the air. At one point, a wave of birds bursts from above the power lines, moving together, making the acme even more shocking to witness. With cars stopped at the intersection, there's nothing left for the drivers to do but be shocked by the bird bonanza above. Sky portal. Over in Qingdao, China, people spotted something that looked straight out of science fiction. A strange beam of light shot upward from the top of a building, rising so high it seemed to touch the sun. The clip spread fast online, and viewers couldn't agree on what they were looking at. Some were convinced it was a gateway to another dimension, while others thought it might just be a light pillar, where ice crystals in the air reflect sunlight into strange shapes. But the way it lined up perfectly with the sun made it feel more deliberate than just random weather, natural trick, human tech, or something we're not supposed to understand. Share your thoughts in the comments. Mystery over Medina. On September 11th, 2025, worshippers in Medina noticed something unusual above the sacred mosque. A glowing object hovered over the minaret of Masjid-e-Nabwi, catching the eyes of everyone looking up. At first glance, it could have been a drone, or maybe even a falling meteor, but the way it lingered made it feel stranger than that. Authorities suggested it was probably a drone, yet many weren't convinced. If it wasn't man-made, then what exactly was watching from above? The clip did leave people really unsettled and shocked by what they just witnessed during their pilgrimage. Texas sky split. A Reddit user recently filmed something bizarre in the sky over Austin, Texas, and people still can't figure it out. The footage shows what looks like a massive crack tearing through the clouds, almost as if the sky itself had split open. It's not shaped like any storm or weather pattern you'd normally see, and that's exactly why it's going viral online. With thousands of people sharing their theories, some have called it a glitch in the Matrix, convinced reality itself broke apart for a second. Others offered more grounded ideas, suggesting it could be a rare atmospheric phenomenon or the shadow of something hidden beyond the horizon. But so far, no scientific explanation has surfaced, leaving the mystery wide open. Strange sky swirl. We've all seen strange UFO clips online, but this new phenomenon caught on camera is absolutely unbelievable. The footage, filmed near the Large Hadron Collider outside Geneva, Switzerland, shows clouds starting to twist and pull together like they're being sucked by some invisible force. As the swirling grows stronger, a small speck of light suddenly appears near the base of the sky. In seconds, it shoots upward, far faster than any jet or drone could move, and vanishes right into the vortex. Now, the first part could have been explained as a strange, never-seen-before phenomenon. But the last part changed everything. The orb could have been a UFO going inside that swirl, which might actually be a portal. Since the footage has only recently come out, there hasn't been much investigation done on it. Rising locust plagues.
The UN is appealing for more than $41 million to eliminate a severe plague of locusts in Madagascar. Half of the money is needed by June to try to save the country's crop production. Around half of Madagascar is currently infested, with each swarm made up of billions of insects.
Locust swarms are no longer just ancient tales. They're happening again, and they're bigger than ever. From Madagascar's 2013 crisis to massive waves in Russia, Bahrain, and across Africa and the Middle East, the insects have returned with frightening force. In 2019, one swarm in Bahrain grew so dense it stopped traffic. A moving black cloud that swallowed farmland and roads. By 2022, South Africa was facing its worst outbreak in 25 years, with millions of locusts tearing through tens of thousands of hectares. Scientists say the pattern is clear. Shifting weather, unstable rainfall, and altered migratory paths are creating perfect conditions for these insects to multiply quickly and travel far. But the Bible's book of Joel and the plagues of Moses describe the same sight: waves of locusts stripping fields bare in days. Back then, they were seen not just as pests, but as warnings. Total eclipse.
Look over the press box, you'll see the planet Venus.
In Kentucky, during the recent total solar eclipse, hundreds gathered on a football field expecting a moment of awe. But what unfolded unsettled many. As the sky dimmed, cameras captured the eclipse in startling clarity. The footage showed the light bending and fading in ways that felt unnatural, like the atmosphere itself was reacting to something more than just a passing shadow. It didn't look like the eclipses they had seen in books or on television. Some viewers were amazed by the detail. Others admitted they were freaked out, saying the sky seemed to reveal more than it should have. Then came the stranger claims. A few insisted this wasn't the moon causing the eclipse at all. They pointed to reports of people who have seen and documented the moon and sun both far apart during solar eclipses, and said this dark disk overhead might be another celestial body. What do you think? Cars are melting. In Dubai, the heat reached a point that left people stunned. Videos showed cars on the street looking warped, panels puffed out, bumpers bulging, and protective films turning soft and wavy as if the metal was being melted from the inside. Clips of similar scenes popped up from China too, where sudden heat spikes left vinyl trim swollen and cars looking strangely deformed. Wild theories spread. Some said this was proof of weather experiments gone wrong. Others whispered about heat waves being engineered to target major cities. A few even claimed industrial pollution was making heat stick unnaturally, cooking surfaces in ways that science hasn't admitted yet. Dark sky funnels. This was captured over the Mutha River in Pune, India, where the sky changed into something out of a nightmare. Crowds stood frozen as thousands of insects filled the air, twisting into narrow, swirling columns that looked like living tornadoes. Videos showed the dark funnels stretching and rolling above the river, their shapes moving like smoke caught in the wind. The clips quickly went viral, sparking debates across social feeds. Entomologists explained it as a mix of warm air currents and swarming behavior, but not everyone was convinced. What about you? How did this scene make you feel? Rumbling sky. In this unsettling clip, an evening in Salvador, Brazil left everyone scared for their lives. The sky itself seemed to tremble. A deep mechanical rumble rolled through the air, heavy and unshakable, like some enormous engine hidden above the clouds. Soon, clips began spreading online, showing that the same strange noise had been heard in other parts of the world that very day. In New Jersey, residents even claimed their radios cut out and were replaced by garbled, unexplained signals.
Oh my God, I'm freaking out.
This was linked with the trumpet that will be blown on the last day, or close to it. Whatever it was, the sound left people unsettled. Cloud cloak mystery.
These days, people are talking about a different type of cloud control. Are aliens using clouds for cover?
Back in July 2025, Hector Garcia from Philadelphia looked up and saw something he'd never forget. A shape-shifting, semi-transparent mass floating above his street. It glided along the power lines, flickering with tiny lights before slipping behind the rooftops.
Some people looking at this see that inside this amorphous blob, there seem to be glowing or shimmering lights. And it looks like this object is intelligently going to a destination.
Not long after, workers in China uploaded clips of clouds rolling across the sky in strange, dramatic ways. Officials dismissed it all as debris, but the object's steady, guided motion and inner glow told a different story, which is why some said it's a UFO, disguised as a cloak for surveillance. Bizarre real phenomenon. In Hawaii, a video left viewers stunned when everything in the frame appeared completely shadowless. At first glance, it looked like a glitch straight out of a video game, as if reality itself was broken. Locals, however, explained the rare phenomenon. It was a zero shadow day. Twice a year, when the sun sits directly overhead at solar noon in tropical regions, objects cast no shadows at all. It's a surreal trick of light, natural yet uncanny, that most people will never witness in their lifetime.
This is a solar event that happens twice a year, only in the tropics.
Apocalyptic dawn.
This is wild.
In Los Angeles, early risers witnessed a sunrise unlike anything they'd seen before. Deep red streaks stretched across the sky, blending into heavy, dark clouds that made the scene look almost otherworldly. Many stopped in their tracks to take photos, the colors so intense they looked unreal. Some blamed wildfire smoke, others thought it was pollution, while a few insisted it was simply nature putting on a rare show. Whatever the cause, the city woke up to a spectacle that had people talking long after.
This is where the Eaton fire is.
Weird California lights. In California, a man recently filmed a breathtaking sight that seemed completely out of place. The night sky lit up with glowing colors, swirling and shifting like the northern lights. But California isn't a spot where auroras usually appear. The lights shimmered above the coastline, moving in patterns that left onlookers frozen in awe. While some suggested it was a rare atmospheric effect, others weren't so sure. Whatever the cause, the footage captured a moment that felt both beautiful and mysterious. Unusual sky sighting. On September 28, 2025, a driver traveling along Mexico's Periférico Freeway in Guadalajara spotted something that left him stunned. Hovering in the clouds above was a metallic, round object, partly hidden as if it were using the sky itself as cover. He quickly pulled out his phone to record. The footage shows the object slowly sliding between the clouds, almost deliberately concealing itself, yet its shiny surface kept catching the light. To him, this was clearly not a drone. It was something else. What's strange is that no other reports came from locals in the area. Despite the clip spreading online, no one else claimed to have seen the metallic craft that day. What are we eating? From Thailand to kitchens around the world, some recent food videos have left people more disturbed than hungry. In August, a family opened their sushi at home, only to find it glowing a strange, fluorescent blue. This all started happening since 2020 and continues to happen now. I mean, look at this. Another clip surfaced of a woman trying to cut a cabbage that stretched and bent like rubber instead of breaking apart.
And now I'm trying to pull it. Look, it's not ripping. It's not ripping. I think it's fake.
Things got even weirder when people tested their cheese. Processed slices burned strangely, hardening like plastic, while natural cheese burned the way you'd expect.
Wow, look at that. It's not melting.
And as if that wasn't enough, reports even claimed some vanilla ice cream had plastic mixed in. These clips raise a chilling question. How much of the food we buy is really what we think it is? Is it time to boycott stores? Florida's Sky Ring. One evening in Florida, a group of friends driving home suddenly slowed down. Above them, clouds had formed a glowing, perfect ring like a gate to the stars. Meteorologists explained it as an unusual atmospheric quirk, but everyone who watched that ring fade into silence felt something different. For a moment, it didn't look like nature at work at all, but something larger quietly showing itself. Strange island objects. The following clip was captured in Manitoulin Island, Lake Huron, North America, which recorded 5 classic disc-shaped craft rising slowly over a distant ridge. Locals who watched it in person are convinced this area might be a secret UFO hotspot. Watching the footage yourself, it's hard not to wonder, could this be real or just a carefully staged trick? New Jersey mystery. Late one night in New Jersey, a glowing object appeared above a quiet neighborhood, hanging perfectly still in the sky. Locals gathered outside, pointing their phones at it, trying to comprehend what they were seeing. None of them could, but one man got so frustrated. He thought he could bring it down, and as you can see from the clip, his aiming wasn't working for him, so nothing worked. The object simply flew away from them, with its mysterious green lights and an unidentifiable shape. For everyone watching, they knew this wasn't a drone, but rather one of the many strange things that have been happening across the world. And I'm sure you know what I mean. Strange sunflowers.
Yeah, they got their face turned away from the sun here.
A man on Twitter who goes by the name Farm Boy recorded something unusual on his fields and shared it with the world. In his video, he points out rows of sunflowers, but instead of following the sun like they're supposed to, these ones had turned their faces completely away. Normally, sunflowers use a process called heliotropism, moving with the sun's path every day to soak in as much light as possible. But here, they were rejecting the sun. Farm Boy explains that corn and beans have no choice but to grow straight up, but sunflowers are different. They're supposed to chase the sun. Seeing them turn away like this, he admitted he didn't know what caused it. But he did say that the people who had taken down his videos could be behind it. Whether that's true or not, one thing is clear. Something strange did happen on that farm, and the video left a lot of viewers scratching their heads.
You can see the beans and the corn and all that kind of stuff.
NASA caught lying? On August 15th, 2025, a passenger flying from Atlanta to Toronto captured something outside his plane window. That shouldn't be possible according to NASA. Sitting by the window at around 34,000 feet, he filmed the sunrise using a Nikon P900 camera. In the footage, the sun can be seen rising, but not from the horizon. Instead, it appears to emerge from within a thick layer of clouds, while the horizon remains clearly visible in the background. If the sun is really 93 million miles away, why would it look like it's coming up from the middle of the clouds, rather than from the distant horizon? The clip spread quickly across social platforms, with people calling it proof that mainstream science has been hiding the sun's true distance. Winged figure. Following footage is from Texas and was uploaded on TikTok. Captured at night in Lubbock, a strange figure appeared to hover above the ground, its wings spread wide. The face couldn't be made out, but the way it moved was chilling. It seemed to glide along the power lines, almost as if it was drawing energy from them. Then suddenly, a bright spark lit up, and just like that, it was gone. Viewers were obviously stunned, but something is definitely off about this one. What do you think? Chicago Cross.
Дальше идем кольцо, 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 кольцо.
Skiers in Chicago's winter were stunned when the sky lit up with a massive glowing circle, its edges flaring into 4 bright beams that formed a perfect cross. Phones came out immediately as people whispered about signs and symbols, convinced they were witnessing something beyond science. Meteorologists later explained it as a sundog, a rare effect caused when sunlight bends through icy crystals in the air. But when the same formation appeared again the following year, theories spread even faster. Some claimed it was proof of a crystalline dome above our world, while others suggested the sky itself might hold secrets we've only begun to question. Crater mystery. In South Africa, locals were left stunned after spotting something enormous right in the middle of a crater. At first, it just looked like a massive rock, nothing out of the ordinary. But as people studied it more closely, the details didn't quite make sense. Its shape seemed too deliberate, its placement too perfect. Some guessed it might be an art installation, but there was no record of anyone putting it there. Before long, videos of the strange object spread online, leaving people debating whether it was a natural formation or something far more unusual, hiding in plain sight. Utah metallic figure. Recently in Utah, multiple people filmed a shiny, human-like figure drifting high above the clouds, and the footage spread across social feeds in hours. Drivers and locals caught the same eerie sight, a tall, metallic silhouette standing almost still in the sky. Viewers chalked it up to drones and camera tricks, but most people were pointing towards Project Bluebeam. Even fact-checkers couldn't explain most parts of this video. Vanishing Man Portal. In this clip, you see a glowing portal just hanging mid-air while a group of teens stand frozen, staring. Then a man steps closer, and in a blink, he's gone, swallowed right inside. Even stranger, for a split second the portal seems to show a place almost like ours, but with two suns burning in its sky. Nobody knows where this footage came from, and no expert has explained it. Hoax or not, the question lingers. Did we just glimpse a doorway into another dimension? Cities on Moon.
Understanding that early history of the moon may mean an understanding of the early history of the Earth.
A video shared on 1st October 2025 on Twitter claimed to show something unbelievable: entire cities on the dark side of the moon. The clip was said to be leaked from a top-secret NASA mission between 1965 and 1968, where humans allegedly built settlements with the help of a mysterious company. At first glance, some people dismissed it as nothing more than lava flows or molten rock, but others pointed out that the shapes looked too structured, too organized to be natural formations. If this footage is real, then we might have to ask, are these human-made bases, or is there something else living up there that we don't know about?
I think you can probably see a long chain of craters, which, so far...
Strangeness in Iran. In Iran, a recent storm left people staring in disbelief. As the rain cleared, beaches along the coast were stained in a deep red hue, so striking it quickly earned the name Blood Rain. Locals filmed the scene, their voices uneasy as waves pushed the crimson-colored water across the sand. Scientists were quick to offer explanations, suggesting the color might come from dust storms carrying red mineral particles, or possibly algae blooms mixing with rainwater. Still, for many who saw it firsthand, the sight felt far too surreal to brush off as ordinary science. The footage quickly spread online, fueling theories from environmental collapse to warnings of something more ominous. Metallic rainfall.
C'est pas des larves de moustiques. Ça se regroupe, ça fait que de se regrouper partout.
After a storm, a man walked outside expecting the usual wet ground and puddles, but what he saw made him stop cold. Scattered across the street were strange black clusters, some tiny, others slowly merging into larger, moving shapes. At first, he thought it was mosquito larvae clumping together, but when he bent closer, the pieces looked metallic, almost alive, shifting in a way that didn't seem natural. No one could say what the rain had carried down. Strangely, ancient texts have described rains of ash and iron as a sign of dark times ahead, and this scene felt eerily close.
Je crois que c'était des larves de moustiques, mais non. C'est des particules métalliques un peu.
Strange growth.
And then I'm walking in the yard and I see this hair, the cat poo on the ground.
Not long after a wave of thick, toxic-looking fog drifted through town, residents woke up to find something unsettling waiting outside. Hair like strands had begun sprouting from the ground, glistening with the morning dew. At first glance, they looked like cobwebs, but on closer inspection, they seemed alive, growing, spreading. Scientists offered guesses from fungal threads to airborne microbes, or even filaments triggered by chemicals in the fog. But many locals connected it directly to that eerie mist, wondering if pollution in the air had quietly transformed what lies beneath our feet. To those who saw it, the strange fibers felt less like a curiosity and more like a quiet warning. When the sky changes, sometimes the ground answers back.
Never seen anything like that. And then I've seen people on TikTok say they've seen it since the fog yesterday.
Earth is splitting. Although this happened back in April 2023, it hasn't stopped since. In Kenya, huge cracks opened in the ground, spreading across fields and roads, and clips of the shifting earth quickly went viral. Geologists explained that this is part of the East African Rift, a slow but massive process where the continent itself is splitting apart. Over millions of years, it could carve out a whole new ocean, dividing the Somalian and Nubian plates. Scientists stress it's happening at just millimeters a year, though dramatic breaks like this can appear suddenly. Many connected it to old prophecies, warning of a time when the Earth itself would redraw its map. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. The following clips were recorded by different people at different locations, but in all of them, the incident was the same.
What is going on?
The first one was captured off the coast of Florida on the 23rd of September, 2025, by a fisherman who was out to catch himself a grouper. But he was shocked to see a massive ring in the middle of smoky clouds, which had an orange-like glow coming from it. Initially, it looked like a storm was brewing, but since he didn't understand what was happening, he asked online.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Then another person on the same date, but all the way in Brazil, captured this enigmatic sight.
What the?
It's almost identical, but a little bit different. A tourist in Sao Paulo captured a much darker cloud formation with an orange part inside of the hole. Unlike the previous one, this was in the middle of the sky.
What is that? Look, it's just moving.
Then, on the 3rd of October, 2025, a local of Iraq captured this. And at first, he was afraid that the American army had returned, but that wasn't the case. In this clip, the origin can be seen coming from the bottom of the glowing orange circle, just 7 miles northeast of the city Mosul. These clips showing up back to back makes it very unusual and mysterious. But at the same time, there is always the possibility of camera trickery. So decide for yourselves. Thank you for watching.